Hello, everyone. Good morning and welcome to this webinar, Discover Home Automation, Discover Akubela. Here with us is Marcos Chacon, engineer for Akubela. Marcos, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Miguel. Well, good morning, everyone. It's always a pleasure to be here with you guys. Well, right now, let's start talking a bit about Acubela's smart home solution. We're going to take a look to what is Acubela, what are the products, what can be supported by Acubela related to the features that it can be done with this solution, okay? Well, Miguel, if you don't have anything else or something to introduce, we can start.
Yeah, let's wait just 1 minute, Marcos. Meanwhile, let me let the customers know that we just received all the stock this month.
Okay.
As we are starting with this brand, we have three panels and we have some sensors in stock, but we are going to start to carry on more models about this brand. Also, I want to let you know that in the first week of September, we are going to have some technical trainings in our three warehouses. I'm in El Paso, Texas, San Antonio, and in Miami. So if you are listeners, let's listen this presentation. It's gonna be like a commercial training where you are going to understand what we can do with this brand. And after that, in September, you are very welcome to join us in our branches so we can start to understand how to configure all these devices.
Yeah.
So Marcos, I think we can start now.
Okay. Well, let's start by talking about Acubela Smart Home. In this webinar, we're going to talk about what is Acubela, the solutions that Acubela can offer, the Acubela products, and some of the roadmap. Okay. First of all, Acubela is a part of AccuBots. It's the same brand, but with a different focus. AccuBots is more focused on intercom solutions, but Accubela is more focused on smart home solutions. But the mission is the same, is to unleash the power of technology to improve people's life with better communication, greater security, and more convenience. Akubela, the same way that AccuBot, it supports the audio, video, cloud, AI, mobile application, and everything is based on IoT. So, where Acubela come from? Acubela is inspired by, sorry, Miguel, I had an issue here. Let me, okay, got it. Well, the name Acubela is inspired in Acapella, one of the purest music form on earth. And that's why we call it Acapella, because it creates a heavenly sound that comfort your soul. So it is like an Acapella home has a warm heart that nurtures your souls and cares your family. Yeah. Okay, we have three features which are communication, security, and sustainability. The solutions are the following. There are four solutions for Sweet Home or Smart Home: lighting, security, climate, and entry. Related to the smart lighting solution, we can offer on-off solution, timer solutions, color toning, essence control, and group control. All right. Now here we can see a diagram about how a Cubela could work. Basically, we start with a home center because for each apartment or on each unit, there must be at least a home center, which is going to allow you to get access to the application for free. Now, the High Panel Pro is going to add like a home center where you can see that there are different models connected to it, using Zigbee because Akubela is based on Zigbee. It uses Wi-Fi to connect to the cloud, but the main protocol is Zigbee. Therefore, you don't need, it is not compulsory to use the cloud to connect to the devices. And then here the communication among the high panels are through Wi-Fi, right? We can also have some different devices connected to Wi-Fi using a Wi-Fi Zigbee gateway. Okay, reliable and flexible. Here's a small diagram about how Akubela High Panel can work with the smart switches, but also in-wall Zigbee switches, right? This is for turning your normal switch into a smart switch. Okay, this is behind the switch in order to come with the AC power connected to the line and neutral terminals to be able to control up one or even two loads. Okay, easy integration because also Acquebella support integration with multiple third-party brands, such as, for example, in the case of lighting, Philips Hue, Lutron, Teppelink, Shelly, and Gillette. Okay, now let's talk about a smart climate solution. We can offer shade solution, HVAC solution, the air quality sensors, thermostat sensors, the heating and fan coils. Okay, well, for compressive temperature control solution, we can also have the possibility to integrate with BRV and BRF gateways using the or on gateway, the IR control for a split system, and also the fan coil and heating thermostat. Okay, this is a wiring diagram. Well, not a wiring diagram. This is a diagram about how the BRF and BRV system may work using the high panel, the home center, connected to the BRV or BRF gateway. And that way, from the BRV gateway, we are going to be able to control our BRV machine or BRF machine to control different areas. Okay, if we are using a IR controller, it might work this way. We have the high panel, and from the high panel using Zigbee technology, we can integrate the IR controller to be able to control the air conditioner, or even in this case, not just air conditioner, we can also control TV systems using the same IR controller, using the brand. For example, if we have Samsung TV, we can also search for Samsung TV in order to be able to control not just the split, the air conditioner, but also the TV system. Okay, these are the brands that we can have integration with. We have more than 2,000 TV brands and more than 900 air conditioner brands. So these are some of them, just some of them, but just for you to know that we have many more brands. Okay, such as Toshiba, Lenovo, Sony, Samsung, Panasonic, Haier, LG, among other many other brands. Okay, for fan coil and heating systems, it's basically the same, but instead of using the BRB or the IR controller, we can have the air quality detector connected to the high panel using Zigbee, but we can also have the high panel fan coil version. So in this case, we're not going to use a thermostat for fan coil, but we can use the PS51, which is a high panel model, but with the bracket at the back for fan coil. So we can have all wires from the fan coil connected directly to this high panel. Same thing can happen with heating. Instead of fan coil version, we can have a heating version. So everything is going to depend of the customer needs. Reminding you that you will always need a home center, okay? Now, let's gonna talk about the smart shade controls. We can have sliding curtains, roller blind, and Venetian. Why is this? Because we have the possibility to manipulate or to control a regular motor using our curtain models, okay? So there's no need to use a specific motor because with our own curtain model, we can control many different type of motors. Okay, well, real-time air quality monitoring. This is a specific device that can be supported by Akubela. In fact, it is an Akubela device who can control all these kind of things, such as CO, the PM, TVOLC, HCHO, the humidity, the temperature in real time. Now let's talk about security solution. Within Acubela, we have many type of sensors, such as uh, uh, motion sensors, alarm sensors, door window sensor, many kind of things that we can integrate in Acubela in order to set up any scenes for security reasons, such as detecting, monitoring, the alarm, and even we can also provide a property manager account to the to those property manager who wants to be able to control for adding or deleting tenants, to lay out access group for specific tenants. Everything can be controlled from this property manager account. So our smart home security system offers multi-dimensional protection, blending extensive surveillance, immediate alerts, and swift response features. All right. Okay, this is a like a picture about how can be achieved a small solutions in La Cubela, where we can have the bedroom, the kitchen, and the entryway. With in the entryway, in the door, the main door, we can have the door window sensors, which is going to allow us to turn on the light once the door is open. Okay, immediately after the door is open, the lights will turn on. We can also have integration with third-party cameras in order to be able to monitoring these cameras from our high panels, right? Using Wi-Fi, using ONBIF protocol or even RTSP protocol. And then the smart valve, maybe for a garden or even the kitchen, it is an specific solution, right? And here in the bedroom, we can have door window sensors, emergency buttons. These buttons can be used for maybe uh, old people who has something, I don't know, maybe these kind of things can be set up for calling somebody when when it's pressed, okay? Like an speed dial for calling on a specific people or a group of people in case of emergency. So in this bedroom, we can have a human presence detector. It means that if nobody is detected within 5 minutes, the light will be turned off automatically. All right. But if the door window sensors is open, the lights will turn on automatically. So it depends about the customer needs. Okay, advanced self monitoring. Like I told you, you can monitoring the AccuBots intercom or third-party cameras from the high panels, but also from the application because you have the possibility to control everything from this high panels and Bella Home. Bella Home is the AccuBell application for smartphones. Okay, always on security and emergency assistance. Like I told you, you can use the emergency button to make like an speed dial in case of emergency for people like this. Using or even using well, this device is an Acubot device called R49G, which is a surveillance for guards. This is for guards. Um, no matter if we use this device, the R49G or high panel, we can monitoring a third-party camera from any of them. Right. Now let's go to a smart entry system solution. Why? As you can see here, we have different type of devices. Some of them from Akubela and some of them from Akubots, such as, for example, this R20K and this E12, because Akubots and Akubela, they share the cloud. I mean, it is different, but at the same time, if we want, we can make a full integration between both brands, Akubots and Akubela, to get the smart entry system solution. Well, in this case, I didn't see say anything about that. We can also provide the this one, the F2. Okay. All right. So here we have a picture where we can have the door phone, no matter if it is a single tenant door phone or multi-tenant door phone. They can all both can work. I mean, if we are using just for a single house, we are going to use the E12. But if we are talking about a whole building, we can use the multi-tenant door phone to call to any resident, any unit, right? Here we have the smart locks, in this case an F2, because we can also have the full solution for intercom at the main entrance, and then in the main at the door for coming into the home. We can have the smart lock. This smart lock is also compatible with Akubela application. It means that can be controlled from Akubela. It can also support temporal pins for the visitors. So if you are expecting for someone to come into your home, you can provide a temporal pin to get access to your home, to your house, using entering the temporal pin code in the smart lock. Okay, it's easy. It's basically plug and play. But in case that we're using the cloud, we need someone to set up just the high panel, just the high panel, and nothing else. Simple but powerful. Here is a small overview about the user interface. In this case, a PS51 or PG71. Okay, and security automation here. Above there's a small interface about how is the interface, the overview, right? Okay, so integration with some other brands. Well, we saw that we have integration with Lutron, Tepelin, Shelly, but also with G-Light for lighting, jail in the case that we want to use jail smart locks. As long as they are Zigbee, they can work with Akubela. We also have integration with Sonos brand, the Somfy for third-party curtains, right? Ecobee, IKEA, and also with Fibaro using the Fibaro gateway. What this means? Well, it means that we can go to those projects where the customer has something installed in the house for being able to get in there, right? So there's no need to take it off everything, take off all the system to coming in with just Acubela solution. We can use multiple third-party system that can be integrated with Acubela in order to go to those projects which are not brand new. Okay. Multifunctional integrated smart locks. Well, like I told you, you may have, well, in this case, we have the F2 smart lock here, which can also send an alert when the battery is low, can be opened from the application like this way, using the temporal keys. And when somebody uses this temporal key, you will be notified about somebody using the temporal key. Hey, 5 minutes ago, this temporal key was used. Okay, no problem. So entry control and remote management secure your home, allowing easy access for visitors while keeping threats at bay. Okay, let's talk about the advantages. Okay, button control, the app remote control, and the voice control. Why voice control? Because Akubela supports integration with Siri and Alexa. So in case the people likes to use a voice automation system, well, yeah, I letting you know that you can use easily your Siri in the case that you like to use iPhones, or if you have an Alexa, you can also get integration with Alexa to control the Akubela solution. Okay, effortless access control. Well, it means that it is easy to lay out any scenes to control a group of devices or even your full house. What it means? Okay, well, let's talk about if you like to receive, uh, if you like the house to turn on the lights after 7 p.m., you can set up an scenes to turn it on just when you get access to your home after 7 p.m. But if you get access to your home before 7 p.m., the lights won't turn on because that's not how it is set up. Okay, okay, one button control. Well, in this case, we have, for example, this type of device, KS41, where it has four metallic buttons, and these buttons can be set up for controlling a fully sense or a precise device. Same thing happens with the PS51, but in this case, it is totally touch. There's no physical buttons. It's totally touch, but the performance is going to be the same. Okay, you can set up a button to control any scene, such as, for example, okay, this button is going to be for movie mode. And when you press this one, okay, the lights will dimmer, the curtains will be closed, and the TV will be turned on. Okay, convenient voice control. Well, like we just talked about this. Alexa, play music on Sonos, because you can use Alexa to turn on the lights in the kitchen, or even using Siri. Family communication. All right. Well, in this topic, this topic, we can use high panels to call to another high panel inside the same house. We can also use the high panel to call to some application, because the communication can be done from app to app, from app to high panel, or from high panel to another high panel. All right. Besides using the intercom solution, where you can push the button or entering the apartment number to call the high panel, but also receiving the call in the application. All right. It supports a message, voice message, picture frame. You can set up your own wallpaper in the high panels, and of course the intercom and camera solution that we have been talking about. Real-time chat. Okay, I told you can call to somebody else to have a real-time communication. Okay, digital photo wall. We talk about this. It is the wallpaper. Basically, you can set up your own wallpapers to be shown in the high panel screen. Okay, those are the access control method that can be used using the intercom solution. Okay, the system entrance solution, if we have an Akubela. All right. Uh, the mobile app, in this case, it is not a Smart Plus, but it is Bella Home. That's the app's name. Face recognition, NFC, wave to unlock, the QR code. In this case, can be using a QR code or a temporal PIN code, right? The PIN code for tenants, the IC cards, and Bluetooth, in case the intercom device supports an Bluetooth feature. Simple remote door access. Oh, it's really easy to use the intercom solution for calling to the high panels in the house. You just need to call to the room. Well, in this case, using as an example, the 101, the unit 101, or basically searching the directory list, the apartment name. Also, visitors and curious can enter in the building using temporal QR code or temporal keys. keys provided by the tenants from the Bella Home app, because this is not just for a Smart Plus solution, but also Akubela solution. In the Akubela application, you will have the same features as a Smart Plus, like a Smart Plus has, but uh, with a plus. And the plus is going to be besides having these kind of features, you will be able to control your the full house. Okay, energy management, like lighting only when it is needed or energy control where it is needed. The energy conservation, as you can see here, you can have your energy consumption, to advise you to turn off some lights and to adjust the HVAC system. Okay, flexible permission management. Why? Okay, in this case, the permission is related to, it can be split in four parts, such as the functions, the devices that we can control separately, the scenes that we can set up, but also the security, where we've been talking about security for using door window sensors, human presence sensors, motion sensors, but also there's many other sensors such as CO, the gas sensors, the air quality sensors, the related to security, and since is very powerful. Okay. Okay, it can be customized, the personalization. Okay, the functions, you have the devices, the music, the contacts. You can also set up the high panel to work with your own zip server, because the high panel supports zip protocol, which means that it can work with the Akubela Cloud, but also working with a third-party zip server. All right. Set up the devices, such as, for example, the dimmering, the color tuning. In this case, for the shade, okay, I want to set up the scenes for opening the shade at 50%, no more than 50%. Okay, and the security for no permission, or to set up an alert to call you or to call somebody else, or to send you a notification that, hey, the door window sensor in the backyard was triggered. So when this sensor was triggered, it's going to let you know, maybe through a notification or triggering another scene, such as an alarm. Okay, excellent compatibility is integration with third-party system. Okay, we've seen some of them before, but now here you can see the Alexa, uh, HomeKit for using Siri, the Google Assistant, Akara, and well, I don't see, we've seen some of them before. I'm not going to repeat it again. Okay, work with Apple Home, like we just spoke about it. Is integration with some other platforms. Okay, efficient management process. Okay, this is the process to set up the project. Create buildings and homes in batch through the Akubela Cloud. Support batch configuration of home plans. Generate installation code for each home, because what happens if we want to use Akubela Cloud, the devices are matched by using an installation code. This installation code is provided for the same from the same system. Okay, so the moment that you set up the device model inside the project for a specific apartment, you will be provided an installation code. Once this installation code is entered in the high panel, well, high panel will automatically download the information about the community, about if there's an intercom device in a public area, if there is another high panel inside the house. Everything's going to be done automatically. Besides this, everything can be controlled and managed from the cloud. Okay, everything related to the uh, access control, tenants information can be set up from the cloud and can be controlled from the cloud. Okay, the installation process. Due to the modular design, The installation of the panel can be completed quickly. After power on, configure the network, then enter the install code to obtain the cloud configuration, and complete the installation and start the smart homes lifestyle. Okay, auto discovery installation process. There are two steps, which are first setting up the network settings. If no matter if you are using Wi-Fi or Ethernet wire, okay, all of them, all of the high panels supports Wi-Fi. It's not compulsory to use an Ethernet wire. And then after setting the network, you will be uh, prompt this, which is the installation code and auto discovery. I always recommend to use installation code. It is safer, it is quicker, um, and easier. Okay, there's no there's no bug if we use installation code, and it's very easy. The auto discovery is in case that we don't want to use the cloud. It's in case that we want to set up a local project without using the Akubela application, just being able to control the devices from the high panels, no matter how many high panels we can have in the house. If we use auto discovery, it means that the project will be locally. And finally, choosing the role. The first one, the first side panel, always have to be home center. And then no matter if we are going to install a second high panel or third high panel or many more high panels, the others are going to be gateways. Okay, there are some product portfolios, such as the high panel, different type of them, different models such as high panel lots, high panel pro, high panel light, the high panel, the PS51, the square one, and the American version of the PS51, which is PS52 with two touch buttons at the bottom of the screen. Below the screen, there's two touch buttons. Okay, well, this is a bit old. This percentage is a bit old because these devices were already released. The PHS1 and the PH81. They were released like 2 or 3 months ago.
Actually, this is the model that I have in stock, Marcos. The
Yeah,
PH
the
81.
PH. Yeah, yeah. They were released three months ago, so now it's available in the Epcon stock. Okay, some of them, for example, the PS51, it has a 4-inch multi-touch screen with sensors built in. It means that when you close to him, it will wake up automatically. All right. Android 10 system, which means that you can add or you can install a third-party APK. So let's say, for example, in this case, let's take an example, the PH81. Hey, I have a person using Control 4 system, but they want to be able to control the Control 4 from the from the high panel, but the customer wants to use Akubela and AccuWatch intercom solution. Okay, that's not a problem because with any Android device, we can install the Control 4 application to be able to control the Control 4 system, but using the Akubela solution for intercom solution. Okay, so we can also have uh, another type of integration using third-party APKs. Okay, well, the model comparison PS51 can support different type of brackets. For example, if we want to control two loads, right, we can use the PS51 R2. If we're using fan call version, because okay, I need the fan call version because I want to be able to control my own fan call without using another an extra device. Okay, well, there's a fine call version that you can use with the same screen. And now the D1 is already released for dimming light, and the heating unit, the heating version is already released. Okay, so we have the heating version, dimmer version, fan coil, PoE, and the R2 version, which means two relay outputs already built in. All of them Android. Well, these are the principles. Okay, I'm not going to go deeper here because there's no need to. Okay, just the model, which is the most important topic here. Now, this is basically the same device, but in the American standard, with the two touch buttons at the below the below the touchscreen. Okay, in this case, it's been released. It was released after the PS51. And that's the reason it has Android 12 instead of Android 10. Okay. Uh, the same way, it also has sensors built in, 4 inches multi-touch screen, the 4-core CPU, voice assistant built in. It supports Zigbee, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and Ethernet. Okay, in this case, the models that can be supported by the PS52B2 is the dimmer, the relays. Well, PoE is already released, and there's another coming in. I'm not sure if it is heating or cooling, but so far, these three versions. Okay, now let's talk about high panel light. In this case, high panel light is based on Linux, which means that you can't install a third-party APK, right? This is just for Akubela solution, nothing else. It can support third-party integration using the application, but let's say this is a more basic device talking about high panels, okay? Automatically screen wake up when you get close because of the sensors built in. 4 metal buttons at the right of the screen, dual microphones, and the three with 27 inches the multi-touch screen. Okay, it supports Zigbee, Wi-Fi, Ethernet, and Bluetooth. Okay, those are the modes that can be supported by this device. The two relay outputs, PoE, and this hasn't been released so far. It's still developing the fan coil version, right? Now let's talk about high panel LUTs. The high panel LUTs, it has a rotating knob here at the middle. It's very obvious, to be honest. Okay, it's based on Android 10. This is the only one that it is Android, but it cannot support the third-party APKs. Okay, this is the only one. Okay, dual microphones. It has infrared built-in, which means if you set up this device as home center, there's no need to use uh, an external IR controller. It supports IR to control the air conditioner or the TV system. Okay. 2.3 inches, the multi-touch screen, voice assistant, and those are the protocols that this device supports: Zigbee, Wi-Fi, BT, and Ethernet. Okay, here are the models that can be supported by the RT61 with two relays built in. The dimmer solution. For dimmer solution, we have the D1 bracket. It also supports just PoE. So let's say this is a solution where we don't want to use the bracket or the device itself to control any light or any other type of device. Okay, and we want it to connect it to the cloud using cables. Okay, well, D1 European version, D1 US version, and right now it's been developed the PoE US version. All right.
The other one that we have in stock, Marcus.
Yeah, yes. You have, I think you have like 4 or 5 different type of models. Okay. Now let's talk about High Panel Pro. High Panel Pro is previous to the PH81. PH81, it has a better Android operative system, and the screen is bigger. This is 7 inches, and I think the PH81 is 10 inches. Okay. It also supports a camera built-in for two-way video communication. Okay. Android 10, which means that you can install a third-party APK. Dual microphones, sensors built in to automatically wake up the screen when you get close. The metal frame, all right. Voice assistant. Okay, it is not 7, it is 8-inch the touchscreen. It also supports infrared, which means that you don't, if you have this unit, you don't have to use another IR controller. You can use this IR as long as the TV or the air conditioner is in the range, right? If the air conditioner is in a different place, a different location where the IR sensor cannot reach, obviously it will be compulsory to use a IR controller for that specific place. The IR controller, the communication is through Zigbee, right? But it is not compulsory to be in the same place than this device. Okay, the model. Let's talk about the models. The PG71 can have the 2 relays built in. It can be powered up by PoE. Well, PoE US version is already done. It's being released a few months ago, and now in case that you don't want to use 2 relays, you just want to be able to control just one load, a single load. We also have the R1 version. Okay. Everything, the power supply for all of them, the power supply for this kind of things, the R2, the D1, the fan coil is 100 to 220. Okay, it is 110 because I tested it in my office. We have 110 AC and it works. Okay, it is not 180. It is from 100 to 60 to 50 to 60. Okay. If you want to use a PoE version, no matter the device model, this is the power supply you need to use, 12 to 24 volts DC. Okay, well, here it says 100 AC volts to 260 volts. Okay, the difference with the between PG71 and PG71N is the camera built-in. This camera. There's a model without camera, and there's another model uh without camera. So if you use, okay, I want the camera, you need to use PG71. If you don't want the camera, PG71N. Okay. Okay, the fan coil versions, we talk about this. There's a PS51 with fan coil version and now with hidden version. All right. Okay, this is the IR21. Right now it's going to be released IR22 with more brands. All right. Well, it's been released, IR22. This is the IR controller for air conditioner, TVs, stereos, uh, many more brands, of course, and multiple brands. Okay, it is CB based, compatible with high panel series, with any high panel, capable of infrared signal learning. It means that if you have let's say air conditioning, if you look for the brand in the database and there's no, but you don't find it, The device has the possibility to learn uh, the signals of the real remote control. All right. That way you can copy the commands in the IR21 for being able to control the TV or the air conditioner using this way, using this option, signal learning. Okay, able to control thousands of IR product brands, built in with temperature and humidity sensor, and powered via micro USB. Okay, now the roadmap. Well, all these devices has been released, most of them. Let me tell you which one, because right now the solutions for KNX is what we have integration right now with KNX. 2-3 months ago, we have the full integration with KNX. We also have devices that can support KNX bracket. Okay. High panel series, all of them has been released, except the KT31. This is going to be released for around October, November. Okay, KT31. Okay, the derivative models, okay, all of them has been released. All these models have been released right now. And for smart lock, we just released the SL50, and we're about to release next month the SL60. The SL60 is gonna have facial recognition too. I mean, it's gonna have all the access method available in the market, such as fingerprint, IC cards, ID cards, the PIN codes, the Face ID, video intercom for being able to call to the monitors and the application. All right. The only difference between SL50 and SL60 is the Face ID, because SL50 doesn't support Face ID. It supports uh, video video calls, fingerprint, cards, the PIN codes, of course, and being able to be and can be unlocked from the application. All right. So the main difference is the facial recognition. Okay. PHX1 and PH81, both devices have been released like 4 months ago. In fact, like Miguel told you, Miguel already have this device in stock, right? The CT61 was released a month ago, and now we're waiting for releasing the KT31, which is a 2 inches touchscreen with plastic body, metal frame, 100 to 260 volts AC with neutral required, a speaker, and a microphone. Okay, all of them supports Ethernet, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Zigbee. Well, KNX is optional because of course you can, if you are deploying a KNX project, you can be provided with the touchscreen plus the KNX bracket. And that's why it says the KNX is optional, because you can request it or you cannot request it. Okay, well, SL20, sorry, SL50 and SL60, stainless steel plus glass, both battery life about a year. The media, well, camera, speaker, microphone, the same way, the same thing. But here's the, sorry, here is the main difference. Okay, the access method, PIN codes, fingerprint, NFC, RF cards, the application, of course, the mechanical key. And here you can see that it supports more access methods. The vein recognition and the face recognition and the Bluetooth, right? So 3 additional access methods to use if you want the SL60. Okay. Well, this is pretty much the whole Akubela solution. Uh, it is Akubela is focused on being able to, like I told you, to go those projects where it might be done from zero, or in case the customer have something installed, Akubela have the possibility to integrate with an existing system. The idea is to be able to integrate, but also to be able to have our own solution or follow solution. I hope you enjoy the webinar. Uh, well, I don't know if you want to add something else, Miguel.
No, just again the reminder that we are going to have technical trainings in our warehouses. And of course, all of you, our customers, you will be very welcome to join us. Uh, this was commercial. We also going to have a small commercial in the trainings, but it's going to be more focused on how to configure all the devices. Uh, like 3 weeks ago, Marcos helped me to configure some devices, and to be honest, it's so simple. So I think this is a very good brand, a very good solution to implement in our projects, in all our residential customers, and we able to have a huge project with very fancy products.
Yeah, yeah,
Marcus,
right.
I don't see any questions, so I think the only thing that I can do is to thank you again to take your time to help us with our customers.
Well, no, not a problem for me, Miguel. If you have any question from the customers or any doubt that you want to clarify, I don't know, maybe they can reach you, they can send you the questions about, and we can get in touch for solving this kind of situation, solving the issue they may have.
Perfect, Marcos. Well, to all our customers, thank you so much for your time and have a great weekend. And see you next time. See you,
Yeah.
Marcos.
Yeah, of course. See you. Have a good weekend, all of you. Bye bye.